hello and a very warm welcome to another brand new episode of your very own show, Colors of India. In today's episode, apart from getting you all the cultural updates, we tell you the story of how the Indian Constitution was formed. After which, we take you on a global movement that demands justice for all women, and finally on a musical trail. Muhammad Ali Jinnah once said, India is neither a country nor a nation. It is a subcontinent of nationalities. And the thing that brings this cultural diversity under one umbrella is the great manuscript, our Constitution.
Our Constitution, a book which contains the governing guidelines of our great nation. The foundation days of it are of fundamental importance, and with the aim to recreate what India went through during its formation.
On the 26th January 1950, India would be a democratic nation, in the sense that India from that day would have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Veteran film director Shyam Benegal brings out his latest venture, Samvidhan, the making of the Constitution.
We are dealing with life and society. And in both cases, because politics deals with our society, politics deals with the processes of change in our society. So there's no difference at all. When you tell a story, when you tell a film story, you have all the excitement of individual lives and so on and so forth. Here we are talking about a whole nation. And the story we are telling here is the creation of a new nation, which is one of the most exciting things that can ever happen. And I think as far as the Indian nation is concerned, the making of our Constitution was probably one of the most exciting things that happened.
Produced by Rajya Sabha Television, the retelling of the entire story will be done in 10 episodes. Formally launched and felicitated by Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari and Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, it gracefully weaves the tenuous years of the Indian Constituent Assembly from 1946 to 1949.
There's so much material and everything has been documented, So we had to, first we decided to divide it in the first two parts of the introduction up to, the beginning of independence and the beginning of the Constituent Assembly. After that we divided it subject-wise, each issue. And the last one is a summing up. But in between, we didn't want to make it according to this happened in May, this happened in June, because the different subjects were discussed at various times, So that is what the work entailed. So we had to dig through the whole thing. One person made a speech in June and then he made a similar speech in July. So we clubbed it together.
Releasing the mammoth television serial at a press meet with a strong star cast of seasoned artistes like Tom Alter, Divya Datta, Dilip Tahil, Sachin Khedigar, Rajit Kapoor, Ila Arun and others, the series promises to be a learning experience that will inspire.
I could just feel the times that we had seen, the process of the making of the Constitution, the debates, all the things that came up. And I think it's a must for everyone. We kind of continue with our daily lives, not knowing how our Constitution was made. I mean, we're totally ignorant about it. So this, I think, is interesting, with an interesting ensemble with all those details. And we have such intelligent people here who researched their work beautifully. So I think for me, it was a process of just learning, being a student, being nervous as hell because this language was really difficult, and but thoroughly proud of it.
It was their decision to cast me as Muhammad Ali Jinnah. To play that character, I think definitely it gives me immense pleasure, because as Gandhi is worshipped in India, the same way he's also worshipped in Pakistan. So to have that feeling is because I have been really posting some photographs on Facebook, and I see lots of likings coming from Pakistan. So definitely it has been a great honor to play that character, and at the same time to play it once again after Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in this Samvidhan with Shyam Babu.
It's been an experience. ये एक तजुर्बा रहा है. ये हम लोग इस प्रोग्राम में एक्टिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं. एक पुरानी तहजीब, एक पुराना वक्त, एक पुराना ज़माना, उसको दोबारा ज़िंदा करने की हमने कोशिश की. और जिस तरह आपने अम्बेडकर का रोल किया, वो ये एक्टिंग नहीं कर रहे थे. हम लोग एक ज़रिया हैं, हम पैगंबर हैं. उनके जो पैगाम हैं बुलंद, उनके जो पैगाम हैं आज के लोगों तक पहुंचाने के ज़रिए हैं हम लोग. तो आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा. इट वाज एन अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस एंड आई will treasure that experience for the rest of my life.
Gandhi was non-violence in principle, but inside there was a huge amount of violence in the man. His thought process was violent. And that's a very beautiful thing I got and I understood while I was beginning to transform and find my way into Gandhi. And I found that I can't go through the path of peace if I want to really understand the soul of this man.
Giving ideas, face and movement is no child's play, but Shyam Benegal brings his best foot forward with Samvidhan.
Their breach may not be answerable in a court of law, but will certainly be answerable to the electorate at election time.
Already earned accolades for his movies like Bose the Forgotten Hero, Welcome to Sajjanpur and Zubeda, his latest produce plans to leave a mark.
A series dealing with such an intense subject is a must-watch, not just for the present generation, but for many more generations to come. With that, we head into a very short break. We'll be right back. After the break, we take you to the second annual 1 Billion Rising movement that calls for justice for all women. Stay with us. Welcome back. Before the break, we brought before you the significance of the Indian Constitution, the same rule book that grants equal status both to men and women. But the rising number of crimes against women clearly indicate that they have been relegated with secondary status. So today, we take you to a global movement that demands justice for women both at homes and workplaces. It was a mass celebration at the Central Park on 14th February this year. Hundreds of people, young and old, gathered at the park in central Delhi to dance, sing and raise their voices to end violence against women.
हम दिखते सीधे सादे हैं, कहते हमें सब मैड, अपनी मर्जी के हम मालिक, क्या सच में है ये बैड? कलयुग के इस दौर में लालच घमंड है टॉप, कोशिश हमारी जारी है तब तक, no full stop.
The heavy downpour and chilly winds could not dampen the spirit of those who came together to observe the second annual 1 Billion Rising campaign.
And that's the way we've come this far.
The day-long event, organized by a number of NGOs working for the cause of women, comprised of street plays, flash mobs, power-packed music and dance performances. Youth band Space, which composes songs for women empowerment, mesmerized listeners with their performance that was an eclectic mix of classical, contemporary and hip-hop music.
We are very happy to be in 1 Billion Rising event in Delhi because we think that this is a perfect day to celebrate love as well as to celebrate woman, and we have to protect our Indian woman because we are constantly getting brutalized since centuries, and I think now is the time to act.
It was very, very important for us to perform here because the kind of songs we are singing has a lot to do with women and women issues. So yes, it has been fun, and I'm very, very happy that India is taking a step forward.
True to its name, the event saw a musical dance performance by students from the Delhi University, urging people to rise against the injustices to women.
मंजीरे आज खनकने लगे भूले थे चलना कदम थिरकने लगे.
Adding to the colourful evening, young girls from the East Delhi slums presented a dance on a medley of songs promoting women's rights and encouraging women to stand up for themselves.
The aim of the campaign is basically to talk about women's rights and issues of violence against women, but through the expression of dance. So dance is a medium of expression to end issues of violence against women.
शर्म नहीं आती तने मैं कहूँ सू छोरिया ने फोड़ की कि में जरूरत ना है घरे पर लग रहे छोरिया के नुए तू घराने का नाम खराब कर करे.
After the performances, Kamla Bhasin, the South Asia coordinator of the 1 Billion Rising movement, addressed the cheering crowd. She expressed the need to free the society of its patriarchal mindset.
You know, it's so sad that violence against women is the biggest war in the world, and this war takes place within homes. This means our homes are not beautiful, they are not equal, they are not just. So all these thousands of people have joined us today to say enough is enough.
Bollywood actor Amir Khan, who has touched upon the issue of women's emancipation in his show Satyamev Jayate, also joined the event through video conferencing.
औरतों पर हो रही हिंसा में अगर हमें कोई तब्दीली लानी है तो मुझे लगता है कि सबसे पहले हम मर्दों को बदलना होगा. किसी औरत पे या महिला पे हाथ उठाने से कोई हमारी मर्दानगी नहीं बढ़ती, बल्कि हमारी बुज़दिली का एक चेहरा सामने आता है.
चलो आज हम ये हौसला कर लें, न सहेंगे रंजो गम, न रुकेंगे हम कदम, न सहेंगे रंजो गम, न रुकेंगे हम कदम.
The evening came to an end with a soul-wrenching concert led by Sufi Zarina Sonam Kalra.
चलो आज हम ये फैसला कर लें.
Sonam rendered an incredible combination of gospel songs, poetry and verses.
कर लें.
Such functions are necessary because the society of Delhi is entrenched with patriarchy, which the mindset needs to be changed. There needs to be some sort of liberalization in the social outlook of people, and to achieve decent amount of liberalization so that each and all of us, including all the women, can use their potential to the maximum without any sort of discrimination.
1 Billion Rising movement was started last year by American playwright and activist Eve Ensler, who gave a global call to stop all forms of violence against women. It culminated into a mass movement across 190 countries, with thousands of women coming out on the streets to condemn violence against them and promote gender equality. Violence against women is an epidemic. Campaigns like these not just encourage women to stand up against violence, but also force those who indulge in such crimes to introspect. The 1 Billion Rising movement has certainly allowed public promotion of women's rights in countries where it was unthinkable before. But the journey is a long one and the struggle continues. On that note, we head into a very short break. We'll be right back. Up next is the Grand Sufi Festival and a classical rendezvous with legendary singers. Stay with us. Welcome back. In our last segment of the show, we take you on a musical journey. A 2-day-long Sufi festival was held in the national capital this week. It provided a glimpse into the deep-rooted mystic traditions of the ancient land. Take a look.
At the 4th International Sufi Festival, organized by the ICCR, troops from the world over paying homage to the compositions of Rumi and Bulle Shah. The Sufi group from Amritsar brought out the finest nuances of Qawwali on stage.
First thing is the whole concept of Sufism is to bring the people together in unity. So there are no barriers. So in Sufism you transcend, you transcend things, beyond that. So I think that whole concept was seen here when the people transcended the cultures, the countries, the barriers.
Sufi traditions date back over 700 years. Qawwali originated in Persia but took root in India with saints and mystics popularizing its subtle style and vibrations. Present-day Qawwals have taken the music the world over.
सूफ़ी एक ऐसा संगीत है जो हम अपने आप से डेवलप खुद से एक रूहानी जो आवाज़ होती है वो अपने दिल से निकल जाती है.
Also at the festival, the Bach Broder Extended blended the flavors of folk music from Sweden, singing and dancing to their own renditions. Their presentation was replete with simplicity and vibrancy.
We are playing Swedish dancing folk music. And in the world of Swedish folk music, there is the polska. It's when you have this rhythm, like it's the polska. And my friends back home, we could dance for hours. We could dance and turn the whole night through. And people are playing in the summertime. We have festivals and people can't stop playing, singing, and dancing. So I think that might be some kind of Sufi thing in Sweden.
Standing out among the presentations was a unique piece that seemed to transport the audience into the deep green forests of Sweden. Using a combination of wind and string instruments like the niskal harpa, the traditional Swedish fiddle, the songs were a celebration of life.
The festival is another instance of how there is no end to the genres of music. Rather, each day there are newer tunes to explore. So after this Sufi festival, take a look at this performance by two of our veteran classical musicians, Shujat Khan and Ulhas Kashalkar.
One of the greatest Indian musicians of his generation, Shujat Khan kept audiences spellbound at Delhi's oldest music festival. Shujat Khan belongs to the Imdad Khan Gharana of Sitar. His playing style is imitative of the subtleties of the human voice.
You know, we are constantly chasing this thing of something new. आप नया क्या कर रहे हैं? Or something different. Yeah, what is special? Every concert is special. Every time I meet you is special. Every time I get up on stage and I'm with my people is special. So I feel very grateful that I am given another chance to perform, and people can come and listen to me, and I can be with them, that's my life. मैं जो बजा रहा हूँ ये मेरा नहीं है, ये हम सबका है. So it's very heartening that more and more young people are realizing this.
So 1981, personally, I introduced one upcoming young person with a big established person. Now those upcoming people have also become established. So I mean that circle is going on now. From 1947, it's carried on in various places. And now, I mean, it's been, at least for 60 years, it's been only going strong.
Also on the stage, another stalwart of Hindustani music, renowned vocalist Ulhas Kashalkar. Kashalkar is among the prime representatives of the Gwalior and Jaipur Gharanas. His gaiki is noted for pure traditional rendition that has his own unique interpretation. Ulhas can aesthetically blend gaikis of Gwalior, Agra and Jaipur Gharanas.
I quite enjoy most of the artists that they have, and I won't say that it's one or the other. It's good to enjoy all of them at their different levels, and each one has something different to offer.
सबसे अच्छी बात मुझे ये लग रही है कि आजकल इतने लोग मतलब अभी भी इंटरेस्टेड हैं जो क्लासिकल प्रॉपर क्लासिकल सुनना चाहते हैं और इतने इंटरेस्ट से मतलब सुनते हैं. ये चीज़ बहुत अच्छी है. जात रही सब सखियन साथ.
The 67th Shri Ram Shankar Lal Music Festival was organized by the Shri Ram Bhartiya Kala Kendra. For the music lovers of Delhi, it proved to be an evening of truly magical notes and wonderful music.
It was definitely an evening full of music, maestros and magic. Well, that's all we have for you in this episode of Colors of India. Keep sending us your valuable feedback and suggestions. We'll see you same time next week with a bunch of more exciting and colourful stories. Until then, goodbye and take care.